somebody and get them to tell somebody, yeah. That life ain't always a party, no. Nobody, yeah. Everybody put it.
All right, what's up? Welcome back to USourceMEDIA. You with our YouTube channel now, and today we actually got a homie that I've known for a little minute, and it's good to catch up with him. It's been a long time.
Yep.
Today we got Trilogy, known as Trilogy, and welcome to coming in the studio, fam. Really appreciate it,
bro. It's been a minute.
It's been a long time, but this show is about bringing in these artists that have been out here and these talents that have been out here for a little while, that have really got a story to share in a positive light. Let the youth know about the games that they're in, how they came to be, and where they're going to now. So we're just going to get straight into it. First of all, just let us know, how did it all start for you?
Just writing and singing as a kid.
Yeah.
And then sort of started performing like high school. That's sort of like what kind of got the ball rolling for me in the beginning. And then finished school. Wasn't like a full interest at first. I used to, as short as I am, I used to love basketball. I used to love MJ, all that. So I was more into basketball, my uni at the time and stuff. And then, I don't know, a little bit after that time, I started getting more into like songwriting and hip hop and stuff. And other people were making beats, people I knew. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna start doing that. So I started doing that. And then when I started doing that, started like, oh man, I need a studio, recorded at a few friends' places and stuff like that, and then that's what kind of got it, moving. I guess.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Your inspirations to actually do the sort of music and tell us what sort of genres maybe perhaps that you do, and your inspirations to actually follow that through.
Yeah, man, I like a lot of genres. Like I do predominantly R&B, hip hop, but I sort of grew up with like everything, like pop. Michael Jackson, of course, that was probably one of my biggest influences, and then Prince, and then I even like earlier on, even before I started like metal, like hard rock. It's like, I mean, along those lines, like hard rock. Yeah, it was Guns N' Roses and Iron Maiden, Metallica, stuff like that. So people don't. This is probably the first time I told people that.
No, that's all good, and they're big names.
Because I was born in the UK, but my family from Mauritius. When I used to go to Mauritius, there wasn't as much like R&B hip hop stuff. It was like hard rock, pop, stuff like that. And my cousins, they were sort of like into like Iron Maiden and around
the heavy stuff.
The heavy stuff. Even a little bit over that time, like after that time, they was like, grunge was popping as well. So they were like Nirvana and Soundgarden and Pearl Jam, all this stuff. So people just hear the stuff I'm doing now, but like I love tons of genres. You know what I mean?
Do you think it helps to stay open as far as musically and, trying to create something?
Yeah.
Helps to, follow a bunch of genres and really sort of take in a little bit from each, or?
Yeah, for sure, because you stick to one genre. For the most part, like you don't want to say this, but like sometimes stuff gets stale, like some of these genres get stale and you're sort of like, well, I need something different, and you have these other influences from other genres. You're like, maybe let me add a little bit of this or whatever. So yeah, like it's probably best bet to stay open to like genres and stuff. You don't have to go all your way out of your way if it's not your comfort zone, but it's cool to take little elements here and there and sort of sprinkle it into like what you're doing and stuff. So.
Guess it just gives you more opportunity to create something that's more different than what's out there. So it makes perfect sense. No doubt. Now look, we actually, when we first met, it was a while back. It was under different circumstances. We actually performed against each other in like a hip hop battle, whatever they call the show.
51 day.
Area 51 St. Kilda. That's right. This was a while back now.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, the homie won. I did come second though, but that's how we linked. We figured first and second might as well link and see what's up. And since then, we sort of kicked it for a bit, did a few things.
Yep.
No doubt. But you started off as Critical, under the name of Critical then.
Yes, I did. But you can't even just jump over that whole bit, because when we did that competition,
actually, what I missed?
The prize was, I don't know if it was the prize, but like they had a prize, and then it was like that you could be a supporting act for someone that was coming down.
Oh snap! Yeah. So, I know where you're going. That's what's up.
The opening act was Outlaws, and I ended up getting I was like, oh, I hit you up.
You got your boy.
I'm like, man, I'm like, bro, like let's just do this anyway. We're sort of like along the same lines anyway.
That's
So I was
right.
like,
That's
man,
right. I
you know,
remember
so
that
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Outlaws opening up for them. Chasers.
Chasers,
Chapel
yeah.
Street. Yeah. Wow.
10th anniversue tour. I was like, man. So like, that's
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you started off as Critical. You know, you did your things. I believe you. Do you want to let them know about the sort of work you did, sort of body of work as you did under Critical? Because I know you had a few film clips, a few albums.
Yeah.
And then from there, we can perhaps talk about your progression into, you know, Trilogy and why you find that sort of,
Yeah, I guess Critical was sort of like some of the, you know, beginning phases and stuff like that. So I had like 1 or 2 albums, I think, that are out, a few singles, shot a few videos and stuff, but not to downplay all that, I guess it was kind of like more of a development stage. You know?
Yeah.
And so, but I felt, you know, like I was still doing like live shows and things like that, and like, as I like to say, like at a professional level and things.
Yep.
But it always felt like it was going to be a progression to something else, you know, so whatever that was. So,
You weren't sure at the time, obviously. You just kept pushing your thing.
And I guess, like, man, like, you get a bit older, it's like your songwriting, it should improve, you know, like, so I felt like that had gotten better, you know what I mean, like a lot better, and I could kind of read things better, and I sort of knew when something was out of place, wasn't in place. So, yeah, that whole songwriting and artist progression, everything, that just, it just sort of pushed me into the newer phase where I'm at now, you know what I mean? But that was a great time as well, and sort of pushing out a few projects and videos and singles and stuff, and I think even we did some stuff. We did a few things, like few collabs together and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Time. So, yeah, man, that was a great stage too, and met a lot of great artists, and you know, did some cool shows and stuff like that, and still doing it now. But yeah, that phase was like, that was kind of the beginning.
Those younger phases are important. You get your networks up, get your name out there.
That's it.
You know what I mean? But you know, the importance of what would you say is the importance of sort of growing into this new artist to you as Trilogy? Like, how important was that for you to sort of not change who you are, but you know, go into that new image?
And
just
well, a few things, like I guess, well, very important, because like you see a lot of big artists as well. From time to time, they redesign themselves. And I'm not thinking of the right word, but that reinvent themselves.
That's I was probably looking for that word before, you know, too.
Whether it's Tupac or even Madonna or whatever, it's like they go to reinvent themselves. And I just felt at this stage with you know, where I was going was like, damn, like it'd be kind of cool to just reinvent what I'm doing and the whole image and the whole everything, name wise.
Okay.
And also recording, like the last few years, probably more so before I, you know, as Critical, I was recording a lot more. You record a lot more, you learn so much more, you know what I mean? Like, you know when something's wrong. And I'm a singer, so you know when you kind of flat, you know when you sort of this, you sort of that. So, reinventing myself was, it just felt like it was the right natural progression and thing to do, you know what I mean? So
I guess that COVID had a lot to do with that, and really improving and spending that time in the studio.
Yeah, you know what's funny, man? I actually didn't really do too much during COVID. And it's funny, you said that, and I've spoken to other people too, and they're like, "Oh man, I bet you did so much during COVID." No, not really, not really.
What the motivation wasn't there, just knowing that there was like.
Yeah, because as with everyone, it kind of stuffed everything up. I had a whole bunch of, I had some momentum going before this, and I don't know, I wouldn't call it depression. I think I just kind of ended up doing other stuff, you know what I mean, during COVID, and catching up with family and doing other things, and yeah, music just wasn't as important at that time, as weird as that sounds, you know what I mean? So yeah, I did recordings here and there, but nothing like, you know,
that you're really trying to push and all that. I mean, I've heard that from a few people, and the fact that, you know, they had nowhere to push a tour to go promote or perform. They were just like, what's the point?
Yeah.
But you know, practice always makes perfect. So
that too, though.
But everyone, you know, takes things in their own sort of way.
Yeah, and in saying that, like, sorry to cut you, like in saying that, before, like I was still recording. I just you know, wasn't as motivated to like, you know, like usually you got like a track or an album or something. I just kind of like was messing around with whatever I could and, you know, developing, you know, furthering my sound and whatnot. But I didn't really push as far as like having a track that was like done or an album or a project. It was just kind of like, yeah, like practice, I guess. So,
All right.
yeah.
On that note then, and you know, I guess COVID is not even an excuse or an excuse for all of us because we all went through it, you know what I mean? Everyone sort of copped it somehow.
Yeah.
The importance of consistency to you. And I know myself that you've always been consistent, you know what I mean? I know you've always sort of dressed the part, played your part, done things, as you mentioned before, to a professional level.
Yeah.
The importance of all that to you.
Man, consistency.
And how do you stay consistent?
Yeah, man.
The motivation, yeah.
Like, consistency is key, man. Like, I think more so, if you want to progress, like you want to build a fan base, you want to build a buzz about yourself, consistency is key.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do, like, because, like, it's funny because, like, you might bring a project out and whatever, a single, and people might surprisingly just all jump on it. And you've got instant fans there, but like as soon as you sort of like slow down or don't have something to back that up or don't have something, you know, to come like after that, it's kind of like you sort of lose people's interest and stuff like that. So
it's a fast-paced game, right?
Yeah, it is, man. Like you really have to have stuff like backing up the other stuff to back up the other stuff, you know? So bring something out, you better have something to follow that, you know? So
especially with the world of social media, I guess, is more truer than ever. You know,
yeah, and everything's like so fast paced now. You know, you got stories, they're 20 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever it is. You got TikTok and that, you know, so it's like people's, you know, that you don't people don't latch onto you. Yeah, man, it's ridiculous now. That you know, if they latch onto you, you better try your best to just try to hold on to, you know,
give them something to keep coming back, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's it.
I guess something for people that are getting into music, have been in it for a short sort of time.
Yeah.
What sort of positive affirmations would you have for them to sort of just keep going and to believe in themselves a little bit? You know, like what sort of things have you been through that's made you almost fall back, but then, you know,
keep going.
Forget it, I'm going to do this type thing?
I guess most artists, right, they know they got a gift, right? Like not every, like a lot of people say they can do certain things, but only a certain amount of people are really, they got something.
Yeah.
And when you got something, you owe yourself to keep doing stuff. You know what I
there
mean?
There it
like,
is, you owe yourself.
You know what I mean? It's like you lose motivation from time to time and stuff. That happens to everybody. The thing is with artists, man, like you really can't be deterred when you don't get the results that you want. You just have to take that research, you know, like do your due diligence and just try and be better. Just try and better what you did last time and stay consistent and you know, get creative criticism, but also don't listen to that too much. If you know you go in a certain direction, then you go that direction. You know what I mean? Like, don't let, as corny as that sounds, don't let nothing stop you. Don't let too much don't let any negativity get in. Keep doing what you're doing no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. It's all in here.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Because
if you don't believe it, trust me, people can see that. So it's like, if you don't believe in yourself, you can't expect. Sorry, I just touched my mic. If you don't believe in yourself, how you expect other people to? You know what I'm saying? Like that's how people are, unfortunately.
Literally.
It's like they don't see you pushing something, they're like, well, why would I jump on this? Why would I listen to this? You know what I mean? Like as however that sounds, you have to give people a reason to want to listen to you and continue to check out your stuff and you know and.
That's it. You are your brand.
That's it.
All right. Look, you know, it's been dope, and we about to take a break because I can smell this good ass coffee here.
I can smell it too, man.
That's a Brazil beans, I believe, again, which is nice. I get to try that one more time. But we're gonna take a break right now. We'll come back. You with USource, speaking to Trilogy.
Seems like something's missing. Everybody got 2 cents, even when it don't make no sense. All talk, no one listens. Seems like something's missing. They don't know what you're going through. Only God knows. Tell me what you really wanna do. Only God knows. Tell me is a message getting through. Only God.
All right, welcome back.
Yeah.
Before we start though, I'd like to let the homie have an opportunity to just let the people know. So we've got a fly up in here.
I don't think it's us, but
Nah, we're straight. Just a hot day outside. But let the people know what you've just had come out, what you've just been working on, sort of thing.
Only God Knows, the single's out, and I just dropped the music video yesterday. Only God Knows, music video out now. I'm going to be dropping it on YouTube real soon as well, in a day or so. So stay tuned. But yeah, Only God Knows now. Only God Knows is out now on Facebook, Instagram, and soon to be on YouTube. Yeah.
There you have it. Only God Knows.
Yeah.
Your boy Trilogy.
Yeah.
We'd like to know sort of your views on the industry out here in Australia from the journey that you've had. And
Sure.
do you feel like it's gotten any easier, any different, any harder? A little bit of the positives and negatives, if you would.
Yeah. I think it has evolved a bit. There's more live hip-hop, R&B nights, things like that. Dance hall nights, afrobeat, stuff like that. So it has gotten better. I guess with, I wouldn't call it negatives and stuff, but it's like people have their own cliques and communities and stuff. And in saying that too, people are starting to group up now a bit more, the communities and things. I'd like to see that a little bit more, so it's more of a network, not just, you know, this person's got this dance all night over here, this person's got this, it'd be cool to. But in saying that, there are some people that are linking up and doing things together, so that's great. There's more nights and they're more inclusive and things, and you know, they're sort of giving people a shot to, you know, to get their stuff out there. Some great platforms, you know, Young Gods, of course, Beat, Drum Theatre, just to name a few. So yeah, there's a few dope nights happening, and yeah, it's getting better. It's getting better, definitely.
How do you see the support out here? You touched base on it just before a little bit, saying that it's very cliquey, but no, let's expand on that a little bit. How have you found the support out here? Do you feel like there is a lot of support or a lot of opportunity for artists like yourself to get that support that you really need to get to where you want to be?
Yeah, like, man, it's a little bit complicated in the sense that it depends on the artist, right? So that's just life, you know, like some people that they sort of have like that crew together, or they have that, you know, they have more of a, I don't know what you would call it, but they'll bring out something, there's crazy support. So not everyone gets that. It just depends as well, like how well you sort of like market yourself, how, you know, community based you are with other artists and people. It's like anything, I guess, like you put in what you want to get back. So and then sometimes you do that and maybe it won't turn out the way you want it. So some people get support, some people don't get support. Yeah, and I guess I'll kind of leave it at that. The rest is just, I guess, up to you.
What about the opportunities for people? And I mean opportunities in the sense of like promoters and venues that are running nights, so artists and things like that can get out there and really showcase their stuff. Do you think there's enough of that going on? And I know we just got out of COVID, matter of fact, not all that long ago, so things are still catching up, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, look, COVID aside, man, like, again, it's a little complex because you've got like your upper echelon clubs and whatever you want to call them, the R&B, hip hop places and stuff. They'll put on people, you know. I think that should be more, but I understand, you know, business wise and, you know, this type of thing. So that plays a factor, you know. But I've spoken about this with other artists that, you know, that some venues have that policy, you know, and I understand why, you know, because like, you know, they're trying to, it's business. This is the music business, right? So it's the same with clubs. They bring artists down, they want to know they got numbers, you know. But I'm on the other end of that where it's like, you should be building that as an artist, of course, but if you don't have that, that shouldn't be the do-all, end-all to whether you get an opportunity, a place or not. Someone should look at you individually. It's like, well, where I sort of draw the line of that is more so where does this artist have 3 or 4 professionally mixed and mastered tracks? Has he at least got that? Image, I hate to say this, or sometimes that plays a part into it, of course. So you got to kind of have that, you don't necessarily have to have that going, but have something unique going on your Instagram page. Like make sure that stuff's interesting. And then if they don't have that, okay, fair enough. But
Okay.
I feel like it's still kind of at that elitist level, and you know, there are other nights that do accept artists and stuff, but yeah, it's on those bigger clubs, it's not so much. Yeah.
How easy would you find it to get yourself on a stage, let's say for someone who doesn't have management? Let's say if we just start off, and how would you go about going that? So
Yeah, look, there's some local community-based events, like I mentioned, like Drum Theatre, Beat, of course, they're dope. So
just let them know on the mic, give them shout out them
oh
spots
yeah,
right there.
yeah. Big shout out to the Drum Theatre crew, Beat. You know who I'm talking to. You know I'm talking to. They've been massive on the local level. I feel they're putting on people even from the Westerns, even though it's in Dandenong, of course.
Okay.
Obviously it's Drum Theatre.
Drum Theatre in Dandenong.
In Dandenong.
Oh yeah, I know what
yeah,
that's
yeah.
at. Yeah,
you know.
no
So
doubt.
so it's like they've got the main stage, which is usually open to artists that have sort of like been around doing some stuff. And even in saying that, they've given opportunity to people, like even some first-time performers, if I have that correct, to take to the main stage and stuff, which is huge.
Sounds more like a and you know, on a positive note, it sounds like it's a community project that's out there really just focusing. That's wonderful.
Yeah, they give it.
Really
what I like about it is, sorry, Kajo, what I can still remember, like what I like about it is like they still sort of select, you know, depending on the nights and depending on the event, they still select some of the artists that have been doing some stuff, and you know, people that have been doing it on the professional level, but they also give a chance to a handful of people from time to time, depending on, you know, how many artists are doing the event and whatnot, access to the main stage. You know what I'm saying? So it's like what you said. It's like some people don't get those opportunities. Might not get them. You know, like damn, they don't perform to 500 people or 1,000 people. This gives them a chance to
just build that up and everything they need to build with it. But just getting in contact with those people, what would you say is the best sort of way to go about it? Outside of sort of like, would you just be building up your profile? Like, how would you go about it to sort of find new venues and new places doing these sort of projects?
Yeah.
Outside of maybe people that you know.
That you
what
know.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, outside of people you know, that's a very big thing. Nowadays, man, I would like I said, same thing goes back to how many songs you have recorded. So make sure you've got some professional stuff done, good to go, and you're familiar with it first of all. And then second, jump onto Facebook, look for open mic nights. That's another thing now I've noticed with some of the open mics. It used to be really kind of like pop, rock, certain genres. Now, some of those places, plus some new places, they've sort of got like, like rock, pop, folk, hip hop, R&B. It's like, it's expanded a bit now. And you've got the nights that are just hip hop, you know, the battles, or you got something like, and they allow people like, you know, newcomers or people that maybe don't have the experience to get up on stage, get the experience and things like. So yeah, so I would say Facebook. Check out the pages that you can find on that. Google as well, you know, like just any search engines that you can go onto, Instagram, any of these. You'll be surprised when you key in certain stuff, like the information you can find. Like everyone got a smartphone, man. It's called a smartphone. So use that. You know what I'm saying? Like
use
not
intelligence.
To say, not to saying that people haven't thought of that before, but I'm just saying that you might miss that. You might miss that because everyone's just got their phone, they scroll and crap like that. And I do it too, like everyone does it. But use that as, it's a resource.
Be specific.
You know? Yeah.
Be specific in your searches and what you really want, I guess.
Yeah. And also, be open to opportunities. Sometimes I feel like people might not think this opportunity is not right for them. You got to really think about the crowd and the people that are running it and the place. Is it worth it for you? Even if you don't think it's worth it for you, it might still be worth you going down there. You never know. Because sometimes you go to these events, you bump into people you didn't expect to bump into. Or you speak to people that say, hey man, I heard you do such and such. Maybe you want to do this, is that. So just network. The only real thing you can do is network. Go
Take
out,
them
talk
opportunities.
to people. Yeah.
Okay. So, what was I going to say? So I had a channel. Just lost my chain of thought. Just there. This coffee's good as.
Yeah. Damn, I didn't even had a sip. You just had a sip.
Have a sip, yeah.
Hey, cheers, bro.
Cheers.
Oh yeah, It's a Brazilian coffee, right?
That's the Brazil one right there.
It's dope.
How do you sort of get your process going of creating a song and putting together a project? What's your sort of process like, and how intense does that look?
Yeah.
As opposed from being someone that started out fresh many years back to now, where you're doing everything to that professional level. What's that look like?
Yeah, it's funny you said, like, it's totally changed. I used to kind of write stuff down, and then, as you know, like with the Jay-Z's, the Lil Waynes, they don't do that. But to be honest, I was never following that. My process changed in the sense that I found that when I have a beat on or music going on, and I just kind of freestyle on the mic.
Yeah.
But that comes with, for me, when I have a topic, when I know what I want to sing about, then it just kind of flows like I'll come up with melodies on the mic. I don't really write stuff down anymore.
Yeah, okay.
And so it usually comes from, I don't know if you'd call it freestyle, but it's like kind of freestyle. Like I kind of know words that I want to say or like what I want to sing about. And then it just comes about like that. I usually know a pattern of how I want to go
You've
about it.
got an idea, yeah.
Right? So I usually start with that. And then it just sort of comes like, and I don't force anything, and I don't try to squeeze anything there that shouldn't be there. Like that comes, again, I think, not that I'm all that, but it comes with experience. Like you sort of, sometimes you want to cram in a whole bunch because but you only got 3 minutes on a song. Yeah. So you gotta kind of learn how to dwindle that down. Go with your gut as well. Don't just, and also, you know when something's not right. Most artists do, but sometimes, and I've been guilty of this, you get a little bit sloppy, but it's like, now take your time, make sure that melody's there, make sure that idea's there, and then just see how it goes, you know what I mean? Like, take your time, don't rush things, and yeah, it'll usually work.
How long do you reckon, usually, for you to create one of those songs?
Nowadays, if I know the topic, it'd take me...
Start to finish process, I'm talking like recording to mastering and ready to
sort
of get it out there.
It'd take me an hour, 2 hours probably to lay down everything. And then mixing, that's a whole other animal. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, you know, it's funny, man, because like rappers, you just have to have that nice tone. And then you make sure that it sits on the track. And maybe you've got some backings, this is that. Not to downplay rapping, because you need to have dope metaphors and all that, patterns. Yeah. With singing, you really have to watch your tone, your key. Do the harmonies match up? Does this fit here? Did that phrase sound right? It's a whole bunch of
It's a different vocal
stuff.
game. It's a complete different vocal game. Yeah, no doubt.
Start to finish. If you're really on your game, like a day, you know, give or take, you probably 1 or 2 songs a day, one or two songs a day, like recorded and mixed. But that's pushing it, you know, for singing. You know what I mean? So,
a lot of tracks to work with and all that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
definitely. And just, you know, you've mentioned a few times, but just to clarify too, you're a writer.
Yeah.
You sing, and you're a producer.
Yes.
Do you make your own beats?
It's funny, someone asked me that the other day. I stopped doing it a few years back because I wasn't as patient with the because doing beats, that's a whole other process as well, right? So that's a whole other animal. Like, you're not going to just put bass, drum stuff together. That has to have a natural, it's got to sit together well as well.
Yes.
So that's a whole other thing. And I was doing, and I'm going to get back into doing that actually as well, more so now, but I haven't been doing it as much recently. But yeah, I've made beats for like years and stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Anyone out here in Australia, whether they be local or a bit on that sort of A-list level, that you would like to work with, you could see yourself working with? I know for a lot of this genre, before we answer that, I know for a lot of this genre, we look at things like international countries, going overseas and all that. That's sort of stuff. But anyone in Australia that you would like to?
I think Baker Boy's cool. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we
heard this name a few times, so this is for real, yeah? Baker Boy's a big deal.
Yeah, I think he's pretty dope. Like, he's doing something almost like 90-ish. You know, and I was surprised, like, they sort of put that stuff out, because they hadn't, it was usually sort of like this other
Even
sound.
The way they dress and everything, the dance, like, that's what I'm saying. Dance and all that, it's dope, man. I gravitate to that too.
I saw him, like, on, could mention other networks, on NITV, I think, performing. I think it was like the first time he was like performing on NITV, and I was just like, damn, like, who is this dude? Like, it was really dope. Like, and I'm Again, and not that I think I'm all out. Like, I'm real picky with artists. Like, can they do this stuff live? And like, are they interesting live?
Yes,
Not so much
yeah,
can
yeah.
they do it live, but like, are they interesting live? And he was just
His
different,
energy,
man.
right?
Like, yeah. And you can see he's like blowing up. You know
Cool.
what I mean? Like, he's
Cool.
so yeah. 100%.
NITV, that's the Indigenous channel out here.
Yeah.
In Australia, so
Yep.
you can catch a lot of them doing their thing for a whole
For
bunch
sure.
of different reasons. Okay, anyone international that
International.
you'd really like to?
I like
get
Roddy.
down with?
I like Roddy Rich, man. Like
Roddy Rich.
I love Roddy Rich. Ty Dolla.
Yeah.
Like, damn, bro. Like, obviously, people can, when they listen to my music, you'll hear some of that in there as well. But they're probably the newest school cats that I'd be like, damn, like, be mad.
You
to get in the studio.
gravitated to, and you're feeling
They,
that sort
they're
of
just
stuff.
realer. They're just realer. Like, I'm like, I do R&B, but people always think it's kind of like more the slow jam stuff, and I'm more like upbeat. And so like Roddy Rich is
we're
like
not
that.
doing Usher and all that anymore.
Yeah. And respect to Usher. Like,
No, definitely.
Yeah, and same with you. Like, we all
But
did.
times
But
change.
it's like
for
times
sure.
change, and it's like I'm really onto like that real everyday life thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I sing about for the most part.
Any sort of, I guess, positive words to, any of the young'uns out here in any way to do with this industry, with with the recording. So we'd like to, as the ones with experience, anything you'd like to just give a little tip you'd like to teach them, a little something that they can take away from your experiences. Could be anything.
No, for sure. And this might sound negative, but like, don't rely on anybody. Get your stuff together. Put your stuff together. You're responsible for your own stuff.
Right.
So if that means you've got to work to get the money together, get the money together, put it aside, invest in studio time, make sure you're happy with what you got, and just keep grinding. Regardless of whether you got fans, support, whatever, you just keep grinding, keep doing your stuff. If you love doing this, just keep doing it anyway. Don't worry about fans, don't worry about support, don't worry about none of that. You want that stuff, it's important, but it's also not important if you love doing this. So
Well done. That's what's up. Very important note there. Just keep pushing, and as we grow, the time gets less to achieve these things. Was important to just remember that from start for you youngins out there. Like, take it serious at the start. You're going to see the results in the end. Any sort of advice you could give when you're collaborating with people out there, whether it be your camera crews, your artists, your promoters,
I think if you're going to collaborate with people, lay down, and again, this is just my experience, might not be everybody, but lay down your boundaries. That means your time, how you spend your time with them, how serious these people are in doing this collaboration, what they're doing with the song when it's done. You know what I mean? Like, you got to take all these things seriously, because like you were saying, man, it's like, even for youngins, man, it's like none of us are getting younger. So it's like your time is way more precious than damn near anything, even money.
Like that.
Establish your borders with people, your boundaries. You're willing to do this. And if those things aren't being met, then maybe that collab's not for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to sound negative or anything like that, but it's like, you have to make sure that you're progressing. And if you're working with an artist that's sort of like, not as serious, it's like some people take it as a hobby, and that's cool. But it's like, if you're at a certain stage, you want to progress,
you really want to do your thing.
Time is precious. And you got to be divvied up accordingly.
Now, getting towards the end, so we're gonna get you to give a shout out, whoever you need to give a shout out to.
Sure.
Give your blessings, whatever you need to do, right here.
Give us a camera. Big shout out to Young Gods. Shout out to Ivory, the whole Mikado, the whole crew, Albeat, Drum Theater. You know who I'm talking to directly. All the artists I've been doing stuff with, you're all dope. The whole community I've been doing shows with recently, even before that. Even my boy right here, I've been doing stuff with him for years. And all the crews that are out there are grinding, keep grinding. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. That's what's up. Links to get all your sort of works, and if you've got anything more that's coming up, let them know.
Yep. Check me out on Spotify, Instagram. It's Trilogy, ITZ Trilogy, and Trilogy with an A. Yeah, Facebook, TikTok, Trilogy Music, YouTube, same thing, at Trilogy. And yeah, man, you can just Google me and you should be able to find some stuff, my music and stuff. So yeah.
He's been around for a minute, so it should be, you know, it should be plenty available online or wherever you need to go to.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty much it, fam. Look, I'm gonna have to thank you heaps for coming in and sort of just having a chat, chopping it up, answering those questions and letting the folks out there, you know, where you at, where you've been and all that.
Been great being here. Thanks for having me on your show. This is dope, and I hope this blows up too, bro. So, yo, what's up? It's Trilogy. Big shout out to USourceMedia. You guys are blowing up. Hopefully you do even bigger things. Peace. Shout out to the Clique online. Much love. Your boy Trilogy. I'm out.
All right, thanks again for joining us. You were USourceMedia, Beans, and the homie Trilogy. We out.
For me. Some people know what you want to see. But everybody put in 2 cents. Even when it don't make no sense. All talk, no one listens. Seems like something's missing.